before we get started in this video, here's the table of contents. I know this video is long as whatever, so all you have to do is click on one of these and you will be redirected to where I start talking about these things. So all it means, and then we're gonna get started with the video. Tweak means if the script works in testing but it doesn't work in game. Damage formula just means the damage formula, like having the weapons damage or your animation damage with the strength damage, you know. Assignable hotkey is just where the player can assign their own hotkeys. And explosion is like explosion fist, like the devil fruit from One Piece. You can add that in if you was to make a devil fruit or anything else. Alright, let's get started with the video. Yeah, give me feedback and see you. I've done this recording many times before, and the first one was 28 minutes, the second one I guess 12, I think, but I just want to try to make it shorter if possible. I might not, but who knows. So all we're doing is going to be talking about this. The tweak is just my friend talked about his script working in testing but not in game, and all you have to do is go to the local script, go in the beginning of local player or something, the first line, enter, and that will put this white space over here, and then say wait 1. So we give the player and character time to load before we start calling variables and start doing all this. Let's see, damage formula. Let me see. Haven't looked at this script in a long time. Okay, yeah. So in the damage, all we did really. Oh yeah, now I know. Okay. So what I did was I went to server script storage script and just made a sample leaderboard script where we're putting the value strength into the player, and I just put 100 since I'm not really making I'm not trying to actually make it 0 and make you know what I mean. So what I did was, okay, now I really know what's going on. I'm sorry, I had to refresh. So what I did was I created the value, like I went to damage, right click, insert object, and then string value right here, and I called it origin. This just means the player, the action is coming from. That's what it's meaning. So in our local script, we go to our damage and then put damage.origin.value equals player.name. So the origin's value is the player's name, which is what we want. And so in our damage script, in the beginning we put local origin equals script.origin. Alright, and now, and don't worry about this, we'll get over it later, but now we're gonna say this is the damage part. We updated the damage and made it into this. So if player, okay, oh yeah, and also add player, add this local player equals gaming.players find vs child origin.value. This just means gaming.players find vs child origin value, which is the player's name, and if they can find it, yeah. So my god, I hate this double clicking when you only single click on the mouse. Anyways, so if player find vs child strength, pretty self-explanatory. Then local strength equals player.strength. We're taking the value, and we're doing humanoid that take damage. The method take damage, if you don't remember, if a player has a force field on, like the ROBLOX force field, then he's not going to take damage, but if he doesn't, then he will take damage. And so here's the script right here. I put parentheses. So let's say the damage, okay, let's say the damage from this value right here in my properties is 15. and the strength value, which I have right now, is 100. So what the formula is looking like is 15 plus 100 divided by 2. But since the order of operation, exponents go first, parentheses go second, and all that, we have to put parentheses over here, so it'll have, I guess you could say, the highest priority. So parentheses over here, and then divided by 2. Because if we don't add the parentheses, then what it's going to do is 100 divided by 2, and then plus 15. And we don't want that. That's going to give a totally different number than what it's needed to give. So yeah. So parentheses, damage of value, which is 15, plus strength of value, which is 100. So that's going to be 115, and then now divided by 2, and I'm pretty sure it's 57.5. I checked it before when I was recording. And then I'm just having print, so I actually know the damage and stuff. And then else. So if the strength is not found, he's still gonna take damage, you know. So take damage of value. That's just, yeah. This is the formula right here, the damage formula right here. I'm not saying it's the only damage formula you can use. It's just one of the basics, and yeah. Hey, it's me again. I'm doing another clip because I forgot. You may want to make a game, and you might want them to have their strength up, like get their strength up each time they use it. So all you have to do is go to local script. And by the way, the emitter, do game.debris, add item, emitter, track blank. It can be like the fire, it can be any additional effect. Just put it right here and do that. But what we want to do is say local strength equals player define first child strength. So we have player already. So we're finding the first child strength. If the strength is like existing, then strength.value equals strength.value plus math.random to 5. You don't have to do math.random, you can just do 5, 10, all of these numbers, which I highly don't recommend, but I'm going to keep the math.random. So what this means is just strength of value, so we're setting the value into some equals strength of value, so the current strength, the current value of strength, which is 100, plus math.random to 5. So that could be a 5, that could be a 4, that could be a 3, that could be 2. So let's say if it's 4, so it's 100 plus 4. We now have like 104 strength. So yeah, it's not adding 104 to make it 204. It's just 104. You know, and as they keep doing it, they'll build up the strength. You know, and that's really all. I'm gonna leave you back to the video. Hope you have a good time. Okay. Assignable Hotkey. I don't even know how long I'm doing this video, but anyways, so assignable Hotkey. All you have to do is go to local script, right click, insert object, and then just put string value right here, you know, and then call it hotkey. You can call whatever. You can even do all caps if you want to, but you have to, in scripting, you have to keep the all caps if you're going to do that. Just gonna warn you there. Now we're going to our local script. We're going to call the value. We're going to call that value the script.hotkey. So hotkey equals script.hotkey. And now all we need to do is, so for your script you have if key equals F. Change the F with the with the double quotes and say hotkey.value lower. See what the lower is for is, so let's say the hotkey was F again, but it was capital. Like we have the key lowercase. Let's say, okay, so it's like capital F, and the player presses F. He may press lowercase f, and the hotkey won't work. So we want both of them to be lowercase f if it's both F's, you know. Okay. And the assignable part, I just made a simple GUI, screen GUI, then text box. Text box allows the player to type up something if they want to, and so I have two scripts for that. So let's first go to the hotkey one. So, oh my god, local player equals script of parent, which is just parent, and then outside the starter GUI is just the parent, because we're looking at it in the player GUI perspective. Local combat equals player.backpack.local script. You can call it whatever. We're just getting the local script that we've been working on. Local hotkey equals combat find first child hotkey. So the script that we've been working on, find first child hotkey, the value that we're probably gonna change. So what you do, and add that wait, you got to, and then say if hotkey. Oh my god. If hotkey. This is really annoying. If hotkey, then, so we're making sure that the hotkey exists, then hotkey.value equals script.parent.text. The reason is hotkey.value, we want the value to be script.parent.text, what they write to us, what they write to be the code, be the hotkey. And so I have another script, because the thing is, we may sometimes type more than one word when we really don't need to, and in order for the hotkey to actually work, if we do more than one letter, we have to press it at the same time. So we don't want that. So I just made this simple script. So local box equals script of parents, the text box. While you do, wait, and add the wait, because if you don't add the wait, then the while you do will crash your game and your progress if you're testing. Box.text equals string.sub box.text 11, and string.sub just, yeah, this is just basically how it's layered out. It's the string first and then the last letter that's gonna show. So I can have, like, let's say LOL, and if it's like this, then it's just gonna show the L, no OL, just L. Okay, so now that's assignable. Explosion. Explosion will be this right here. And I was just making them put the 0. So just say local explosion equals instance of new explosion, and then here's the parent game.workspace, that comma game.workspace. Explosion.position equals part.position, because when we punch someone, like punch them in the torso, you would want the explosion to be on them. So we want it to be on the torso if we hit the torso or arm or whatever we hit. So yeah, explosion.blast pressure equals 0. Oh yeah, I don't know. Keep this 0, because if you have at least 1 or any number, probably, then you and the enemy that you're hitting is gonna die. All we want for the explosion is to have, like, an effect. We don't want it to, like, actually do the killing or anything. It's just for additional effects, you know. Explosion.blast radius equals 8. That the blast radius is just how big the explosion is. So you can change the number. And yeah. I forgot one thing, but I'm gonna add that in the video later. I don't know why I'm telling you. You're probably gonna see it. Alright, bye. It's the end of the video. Give me feedback in the description. Tell me what I could do better. Thank you. Bye.